All right, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I just want to welcome everyone that's on the webinar today. We had a lot of people sign up, a lot of different gyms all across the country. So I'm going to go through and just kind of recognize some of those people. Welcome Corey from Supercell CrossFit, Elena from CrossFit Exchange, Sarah from CrossFit Tidewater, Brian from CrossFit Cove, Ali from AK CrossFit, Christine from CrossFit Lakewood. Thanks for coming on today, guys. Rhiannon from CrossFit Jefferson Park, Kaylee from CrossFit Solus, Jordan from CrossFit Osage Beach. Thank you guys so much for jumping on the webinar with us today. We also got Ben from Blue Crab CrossFit, Brian from CrossFit Copley, Ariane from Mountain Strength CrossFit, and Jason from Friendly City CrossFit. Man, we got CrossFit. We got people from all over the country. This is awesome. I'm really excited for today. Mike from Ruination, Jason O'Bannon from Black Bolt CrossFit. We also got Tim Miller on the call from CrossFit 1093, and Marcella from CrossFit 100. Rounding out the people listening today, we also got Fernando from CrossFit Aguri. Don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Aaron from Acme CrossFit, and Tammy from CrossFit TPA. Thank you guys so much, so much for coming in, learning today, getting on the call. I'm really excited to have you guys here today. We're going to wait just about one more minute. Looks like there's more people jumping on the webinar, so we're giving you guys just one more minute, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling. If you guys haven't already, on the live webinar website, just hop on there. There's actually a chat room where you guys can post questions, and throughout the presentation, I'll be taking a look and seeing if there's anything I can answer while we're talking, or just wait till the end. This webinar is going to take about 45 minutes or so. It just depends on what kinds of questions you guys have. So we're getting ready to launch. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. This is Understanding the CrossFit Athlete Lifecycle, hosted by me. I'm Mike Wiest. I'm with the boxbusiness.com and CrossFit Como. So thank you guys once again for taking your time out of your busy days. I know what it's like to own a gym. I know what it's like to try to spend an hour where we're not training somebody or training ourselves. So I just want to say thank you once again for coming on, and I hope we can learn and take this journey together. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about my journey to CrossFit. Just before we get started, I found CrossFit back in 2007 while I was in grad school, and I was working with a personal trainer, and she introduced me to CrossFit.com. First workout she tried to get me to do was Murph, and as you guys know, that was just too much to bear for my very first time. I was your typical standard bro at the gym. I spent a lot of time doing bench press, a lot of time doing bicep curls, and not a lot of time doing anything really truly functional. So I did a couple workouts with her here and there, but nothing really didn't really stick. About a year later, I finished my MBA and I started working. And And that job really took a lot out of me. I got so caught up, so busy in that job that I didn't have any time for myself. I ended up gaining a bunch of weight and really just wasn't happy with how I was performing as a person. And so I started getting tired of that job, and I ended up looking for new jobs. And I found a job in my hometown of Columbia, Missouri at the University of Missouri. So I took that job, and it was such a great move. There's a lot better work-life balance. When I got back to Columbia, I started working out with a friend of mine, and we went to our local global gym, and this was around 2011. And it was pretty awesome. We were doing our standard bodybuilding type routine, and then we got bored, and we weren't progressing. And he said, "Hey, I got this really cool workout. Let's try it out." So it was the 300 workout. That's the workout the guys did in the 300 movie to get so shredded and all those great things. And I really, really enjoyed it. And ended up started doing it about 3 times a week. And one day I was like, man, this really reminded me of that program I used to do back in college with that trainer. And so I started doing some searching on Google and realized, oh yeah, there's all these great CrossFit workouts. I remember doing some of these. So I started implementing CrossFit into my weekly routine at the gym. And that's when I started seeing a lot more, growth in my strength, growth in my cardiorespiratory endurance, just growth in my overall fitness. It's pretty awesome. So I really loved doing that. I loved bringing new workouts to the gym. I actually started to develop a little bit of a following. I had about 7 guys that we were meeting up 3 times a week and doing WODs in this back room in the gym. And man, it was a lot of fun. And I said, well, let's look at what the next step is. Maybe I can be a trainer. Maybe I can teach people CrossFit. And so I reached out to my local CrossFit gym in town. There's only one. Here's a really small gym. A bunch of guys that's really enjoyed training. Tried to get in there, and man, it was a struggle. It took me 6 weeks to get a hold of them, and then after I talked to them on the phone, they told me I had to wait another 6 weeks. And man, I was so frustrated, very, very frustrated. So, well, anyways, that was water in the bridge. One of my friends I was working out with regularly, I said, hey, let's go do it. Let's go get our level 1 and let's see what happens. See if we can start training people in our garages and see how that works. So we went to a level 1, and we were going to go to St. Louis, but that one was sold out. That was the nearest one. So we went down to CrossFit Nashville in Tennessee. And this story right here kind of tells the story. That's me in the orange with the 2 name tags. I just got done with Fran in that picture, and I didn't know what my name was. So Rich was making fun of me. But yeah, we walked into CrossFit Nashville. We're sitting there waiting to get started, and out of nowhere, Rich Froning just kind of pops around the corner. And that was only the second time he's ever been a part of a level 1. And man, we were starstruck. It was amazing. What a great experience. And we really thought that day, that was the day that, changed my life. So we got back and started doing the work. We started saying, hey, let's start a CrossFit gym. This town was plenty big enough for multiple gyms. Let's start a CrossFit gym. Let's see what we can do. But we knew that we didn't want to go further than what we currently knew. So we went out and sought additional certifications. We went out and sought additional knowledge. And when we started training people, we did that only to the best of our ability. So we didn't go outside of what we knew well. And I think that was very important for our early success. Let me tell you a little bit about that early success. When we opened up, my business partner, he was our head coach. I was the business guy, and we made a great team. Our first month we were there, as we were putting the place together, we did free classes in the evenings and just did a lot of Tabatas or body weight workouts and had a lot of fun. It was gorgeous weather in April. In our first week, we had about 5 or 6 people come regularly throughout the week. The next week, it turned into 10 to 15. Later on, into that week, 20 to 25. And finally, that 3rd and 4th week, we were having 30 to 50 person classes. I think our biggest class was 55 people. So this was a free class at 6 o'clock in the evening post work, and we had 55 people there. It was unreal. There's 3 of us trainers. We did multiple heats. It was unreal. A few weeks later, that's that picture right there. That was our grand opening, and we opened up with over 40 members, and heck, we're cash flow positive. And we had such a little space, 1,700 square feet. It was awesome. Our email list in that first month grew over 500 people. And that was due to a lot of our social media and referral type programs that we implemented. And then over that first year, we put 600 people through our foundations program. That was unreal. And in the first 3 months, we already had 100 plus members. So we had so much success so quickly, so early on. 6 months in, we started planning our expansion. And at our 1 year point, we moved to a new facility and had over 200 members. So that 1 year was a lot of stress. It was a lot of fun. We were riding on cloud 9, but we didn't realize there was a lot of underlying problems that were developing. We didn't really measure anything except for new sales and new people coming in the door. We didn't measure our retention, but we were really good at bringing people in the door. And that was all that was important to us at that point. We really wanted to expose people to CrossFit, but we didn't keep people around. So there's a hole in our bucket. We kept filling the bucket up with more and more water, but the hole kept leaking. So when I started thinking about our issues, I realized that we were too big to run the way we were, and we needed to systemize, and we needed help. And if not, we were going to crash and burn, and the money wasn't going to be there. So that stress of running a really nice sized CrossFit gym put a lot of stress on both myself and my business partner. And, about 14, 16 months into it, we decided that it would be best if we split our partnership. And he went to open up another gym here in town. What the sad part of that whole thing is our goals really just weren't aligned. I really wanted to focus on spreading CrossFit. His focus was on having a good time. Not to take anything away from that, him and his wife are great people. We just had different views on where we wanted to go. So we lost about 25% of our membership when that happened. And I was devastated. And I said, this is no way to run a business. We got to figure out, how do we move on? How do we get going? And how do we, implement systems and processes in place to, keep people happy, keep them engaged in our brand. Because we were good at bringing new people in. We just weren't good at keeping them longer. So here was our struggle. We had low retention. It was a revolving door. Like I said, in the first year, we had 614 people come through our foundations program, but we only kept 220 of those. So that's only about, I think, 39%. That doesn't seem too great. If we could have just doubled that number, could you imagine what size gym we would have today? We brought too many new people into the gym. I think 1 month we had over 100 people go through our foundations program. While that was great, we couldn't control it. We couldn't keep people coming back. We couldn't keep people engaged. There's people. I was really good at remembering names, but I wasn't good at keeping those people engaged in our brand, and they left. We didn't really have anybody focusing on our current athletes. We had all these great people that had memberships and were coming spending good money with us month to month. But nobody was talking with them besides when they came to classes. We didn't have anybody focus on retention. Like I said before, we weren't really measuring anything. That was a big mistake. We didn't have great business practices. That's everything from getting people to sign up to when people cancel. People could cancel pretty much at any time. And there was so much lost potential in that. And we really forgot about the entire experience. I think we were doing a great job overall, but there's a lot of the details that we were missing. And we had some great coaches, great staff, but we had a lot of problems. So we had to shift our focus. And our focus shifted to the athlete experience. So our mindset change went from focusing on bringing new people in the door to focusing on who our current athletes are first. Then we're going to focus on building our coaches up then we're going to focus on bringing new people in. I really stopped bringing new people in the door purposefully. I wanted to make the experience better for our current athletes. I wanted them to feel more engaged in our brand. I really, really wanted to focus on building a brand, telling our story, not just running a business that I had to generate new clients each and every month. So during that time, it freed me up to actually focus on the systems in the business and improving those. And guess what happened? When we started focusing on the right things, amazing things happened. But I'll share that more later. So is my story similar to yours? Is my story, something that you've experienced? You've probably experienced bits and pieces of that. My story, I feel like I needed to share with others. So I started a website called theboxbusiness.com. And my whole goal of that website is to inspire current and future affiliate owners to run an awesome business. It's pretty simple. I want to provide great content and interviews with some of the most influential people in the CrossFit industry. So our podcast is launching really, really soon. You guys are going to be so excited to listen to that. I can't wait to share it with all of you. Our blog is where I want to share actionable business principles, share the things I learned, share the things I screwed up on. So help you guys so you don't experience those same things. Or if you are experiencing those same things, how do you get through that? I also offer a couple services, consulting, branding, marketing, web development, design, and a lot more. But that's just where I can help you specifically as an affiliate if that's something you're looking for. Plus a lot of free resources. We're constantly building that list. I know we have an editorial calendar for social media on there. I know we introduced our nutrition challenge on there. I'm going to continue to update that free resources list as we go. So let's talk about a little bit about the box business and how I got started and how, what drives me to, build and tell the stories that I do. I've analyzed hundreds of CrossFit websites to determine best practices. Before I ever opened CrossFit Como, I probably read, something like 200 websites and took notes on them. I was obsessed with getting it right the first time, and look what happened. I made a lot of mistakes, but I think we're doing pretty well now. During my first 2 years opening the gym, I visited over 30 different CrossFit gyms across the country and learned a lot from the owners, from the coaches, facility layouts, etc. I was so excited just to learn what other people were doing. For my podcast, I've interviewed dozens of different affiliate owners, so I've learned a lot in that process over the last month or so. I've helped dozens of new affiliates get off the ground running, developing websites, their strategic marketing plan. So finally, this is something I do regularly is I survey affiliate owners that I come in contact with, and these have been from around the world as South America, Colombia, the country, and what their biggest struggle and need is in their business. So I'm going to share those results with you. So when I surveyed box owners, what their biggest struggle in their business right now, the resounding answer was retaining current athletes and attracting new ones. And it was almost an even split. If you look at this chart, you can see that coaching was only 10%. I think, CrossFit coaches as a whole really try to be better coaches, but many of us, we have that passion, but we don't understand the business side. So my goal today is to help you guys learn or understand what the business side is and how you can improve that. And how do you bring more people in the door? How do you keep people engaged? And how do you improve your business practices? So let's get into it. This is the CrossFit Athlete Lifecycle. If you read my blog post on this, we kind of lay out what it is each and every step, but we're going to get a little more details during the webinar today. This is the life cycle. This is where the journey that a person takes when they're coming into your CrossFit gym. And it begins with awareness of that gym. Then they're going to consider if that's the gym for them. And then they're going to make that first step and say, hey, let's see what this gym's all about. Once they experience your gym for the first time, they talk to a coach, they try a free class. When are they going to purchase, or do they even purchase? Once they purchase, it's all about keeping them happy, keeping them retained. And if they leave, how do we get them back? And finally, with all of that, we want to turn them into a brand advocate. So they're out on the rooftops, screaming your name. And we'll get into each of those in more detail here in a few minutes. This is a good time to get out that worksheet. If you guys got the email that said, there's a great worksheet where you can take notes as we're doing the presentation. So make sure you guys pull that out and take some notes. Before we get into the life cycle, let's talk about the lifetime value of an athlete. Now, this is a very important metric that everybody should be measuring in their business. As you can see, my theoretical gym only has 3 athletes, and this is, the length of time those athletes have been in the gym. Doug, he's been there 9 months. His revenue is about $110 per month. So his revenue per athlete is $990. Cindy, 12 months, that's 6 months. And you can see total months people have been in my gym, 27 for an average for revenue of $33.90. So let's take the averages of that. We have 3 athletes. The average length of time is 9 months. Their average revenue is $125.56. So the lifetime value of that athlete is $1,130. It's important to know that number. If you're not measuring that number, I highly recommend going back and taking a look at what that number is, because that number is going to determine how you spend money in marketing. That number is going to determine how much, help you realize how important it is to get one more person in the door. Every person I can get in the door is worth, to me, $1,130. Let me say that one more time. Every person that comes into my door, if I sign them up for a membership, they are worth $1,130. What's that? What's the price of that? Well, that's a new Olympic weightlifting bar and 320 pounds of plates. That's another 10 feet of extension on your rig. That is another $1,000 in your pocket that you can use to go on a vacation, or to pay your coaches, or to develop your coaches, or to do whatever you need to do with that number, with that money. So keep that in mind. The lifetime value of an athlete is so important, and the whole processes and systems I'm going to be sharing with you today is to help you grow that number, is to help you think about that number every time you make a decision in your gym. All right. This is a CrossFit athlete lifestyle. We just briefly went through this, so we're just going to jump right on in and talk about, each individual section. So get your notes out. We're ready to roll. The CrossFit athlete life cycle is in your gym is a key measurement of the performance of your affiliate. So in my series, I'm going to break down each piece of the cycle and give you tools and ways to implement and add more value to your clients. So having a clear picture will not only affect your affiliate, but also make running your gym easier. It'll make sure you're focusing on the important pieces that grow your business, drive the athlete experience, and keep your athletes around for the long term. So this is great for somebody who's just about to open their gym, or somebody that has been in business for a long time. If you understand this concept, you're definitely going to benefit. So let's talk about the first part of their journey. That's just awareness. It's awareness of your gym. This is the first impression people get of your gym, and they get it through a variety of channels. So is it from a conversation with a friend? Did they watch the CrossFit games on ESPN? Maybe they're at Dick's Sporting Goods and saw a pair of Reeboks that said CrossFit on them and went and Googled that. This is the discovery phase, and first impressions are everything. So this is maybe your website, your coaches, yourself, your car. Maybe you have a big sticker on the back window of your car. That's the first impression. So make sure your brand is well represented. Many times when people check out my gym, they tell me it's because my website was very professional and easy to navigate. We're actually going to take a look at that here in a few minutes. I hear from drop-ins all the time that, it was so easy to sign up to drop in my gym. They didn't even bother looking at other gyms in town. For people joining my gym, the reason is either a referral, we're close to where they live, they liked our coaches, and probably most importantly was our testimonials. So once they move from that awareness stage to consideration, so you got somebody on the phone, how do we convince them to come in? Well, you got to remove those barriers to entry. And that's the key thing. And so how do you do that? Well, a barrier to entry basically is some kind of limitation from getting somebody in your gym. And so that limitation could be they're scared. That limitation could be they're unsure. That limitation could be they're, sorry about that. That limitation could be, they're unsure, the price, or a lot of different things. So whatever you can do to limit that, the better. And your website's a great tool for that. The other thing is, people are going to search for your gym. They're going to show up on Google, and it's going to show you that, for example, that you have reviews and how many reviews you have versus somebody else, another gym in town, CrossFit or not. Are people going to read the testimonials and see on your site that, hey, there's a story of somebody that's just like me? Are they reading a blog post about your, how you do nutrition? So everything you do, consider how can I lower that barrier to entry and how I can get people in the door. So once you get people in the door, and you get them set that first time, whether it's a meeting with a coach or trying a free class, how are you providing value for that person and to join your gym? And, how are you making that experience so amazing that they would never want to leave? I got a really cool blog post called Welcoming New Athletes on theboxbusiness.com. And I highly recommend going and checking that out, because we really talk about the experience somebody gets when they come in the gym. If you make that experience so amazing, so much fun, and really show that barrier to entry to CrossFit, you don't have to be in shape to join the gym. They're going to stick with you, and they're going to stick with you for a long time. Remember, each and every person coming through that door, they're worth $1,100. So how do you do your best to make that experience make that experience remarkable and amazing for when they come in? There's also a lot of other tools you can use, like email marketing, which we'll get into in a little bit. So this is where you really want to build that emotional connection to your brand. The next piece in the athlete life cycle is purchase. I apologize. Looks like the slide had an issue on the slide, but we're talking about purchase. This is where people are making a purchase to your gym. So this is where a lot of affiliate owners that I've talked with struggle, and they sometimes have trouble justifying why their gym costs $100 per month and doesn't include showers. It's located on the outskirts of town. But you need to convince these potential clients of a high value proposition. So how do you get them in the door? Well, you get them in the door trying out maybe personal training or a foundations program, or maybe it's your new nutrition program. Or maybe they come in for a free seminar you have on a Saturday, and you're providing all this free value up front. And you got to make it easy to purchase. So if you don't have an ability for somebody to purchase directly from you on your website, you're behind the 8 ball. And we really need to examine our websites. Websites are such a huge first point of contact for people. The purchase aspect is really important, because once they make that one commitment, that first commitment to buying, and you're providing them a lot of value, that first payment is worth $1,100. I keep going back to the lifetime value of an athlete, but that's an important thing to consider when you're when you're making decisions. Finally, retention. Now, once somebody made the purchase and they make the commitment, retention is so important. It's so much easier to retain somebody than it is to attract a new one. In my case, it was actually the complete opposite. But moving forward, in a lot of businesses, if you already have somebody as an athlete, how are you going to keep them around? You keep them around, the higher that lifetime value of an athlete is, the more successful your business is going to be. So, you guys know what it feels like when somebody leaves. It's, and I always wonder, what could I have done to keep them around? When I implemented this policy a few months ago, is when we conduct an exit interview to learn why somebody is leaving. We always ask the question. They have to answer that before they leave. Now, they don't have to do it in front of me. They can write on, it's a form on our website, but it's very, very important to learn why people are leaving. But it's your job to make that experience so great that why would they ever want to leave? If you're providing so much value up front, you're making the experience so great, why would anyone ever want to leave your gym? You're always going to have some natural attrition, but if you're making the experience, people are always learning, they're not going to leave your gym. So we do it in a lot of different ways. Auto billing recurring memberships is so important. I don't know how many gyms I've talked to over the last 6 months that don't even have that basic system set up. Host events, do benefits, volunteer in the community, make it so that people are participating in something bigger than themselves. And the reason they are is because of your gym. Make deposits in their emotional bank account. Help them get small wins. Call them if they're not coming in class. If you guys, another segment you guys could look at churches. What did churches do really well to keep people coming back? There's churches that are doing great, and there's churches that are struggling, and look at the difference. The ones that are doing really well have a great tight-knit community. And when new people come in, they're integrated very well. If you're not integrating your athletes very well after your foundations program, you're really doing yourselves a disservice. Because remember, each person is worth $1,100. But even more than that, the emotional investment is so great. I feel like every time I bring somebody new in the door, it's like I'm going on a date with them, and I'm going to impress the hell out of them each and every time. So the longer people stay in your gym, this is how you grow your LVA, your lifetime value of an athlete. And if you can create systems and continually improve on them, once people join, they'll stay longer. So the key thing, though, from retention to brand advocate is how do you transition them from there? I think once you get people in the gym and they're there for a little while, they become CrossFit fans, but maybe they don't become CrossFit Como fans. And I learned that a lot when my business partner and I split. We got a lot of people that love CrossFit, but they weren't CrossFit Como fans. They were CrossFit fans. So make sure you're measuring your attrition rate. And like I said, from a financial aspect, it requires a lot less money to keep somebody happy than it is to bring on new ones. So I highly recommend surprising people, going above and beyond, doing those little extra steps to keep people happy. The last piece of the CrossFit athlete life cycle is becoming a brand advocate. Have you ever talked to somebody that loves Coke so much they think Pepsi is poison? That's what we want to do. We want people to breathe, sweat, and bleed your brand. And if you're not telling your story, you're not becoming a brand. So what are you doing to grow your athletes into brand ambassadors? So if you're providing amazing experiences, you're depositing their emotional bank account each and every day, you truly care about them, and you help make a difference in their lives and in the lives of the people they touch. They're on this journey, and this journey should be with you. So how do you do that? Maybe you recognize them in a ceremony. Maybe you recognize them privately. You find out how they're doing. You understand what it is to be a people person, and that's you need to understand, how am I making a difference in these people's lives? Let those emotional bank account decisions drive your decision making and help create people to become brand advocates. So final thing is, if you can get people to become a part of something that's bigger than themselves, they're going to stick around. They're going to stick around for a long time. Cool. So on your sheet, we have 10 action items to improve phase 1. So these are the things I'm going to share with you, what I've learned from surveying and talking with affiliate owners over the last couple of years. So on your worksheet, you can fill these out. So here we go. 10 action items. These are actionable things you can take with you back and implement into your gym today. You need to measure everything. If the software you're using, or however you're doing memberships, if it doesn't have measurement tools for things like how to measure people coming into the gym to trying to purchase, your retention, your sales. If you're not measuring, you're not going to be able to manage a business. Okay. Next, you need to tell your story. Tell the story about your people. This makes people brand advocates. If you can tell the story about how somebody lost 100 pounds, or how somebody is able to handle their kids now that never could, or if you can just tell those stories, they're so important. Pictures are huge, videos are huge. You got to tell the stories of your gym. Every time I go to a website, I want to learn about the business. I want to learn about the gym. I want to learn about the people that lives are touched in that gym. And I've had so many people come experience my gym because I do a really good job, of telling that story, story of the people in our gym. You need to remove barriers to entry. So, is it easy for people to register, pay, and contact you via your website and online presence? Do you answer your phone when it's called? You should have some specific call to actions on each of your highest visited pages. Every testimonial page should have a call to action. So if that person makes that emotional connection to that person, they can send their email to get more information from you. Ask for reviews and recommendations from people in your gym. This provides some social proof to your business and that people recommend it. How many times do you visit a new restaurant in the town if the reviews are awful? Point proven. Next, get listed in Google Places and Bing. If you look on the affiliate map and then you search for affiliates in a certain town, whether it's a highly populated one or not, there's gyms that aren't on Google. It blows my mind. It's such an easy thing to do, yet many people aren't. So make sure when you search CrossFit your town, Missouri or whatever, your gym pops up. The other thing is provide value, huge value up front. So when somebody visits your website, are they getting great value? Are you giving them free offers of, here's a great nutrition program to get started? Recently here in January, we launched 30 days of free workouts. And this is for anyone. I have a whole website built so that people can do 30 days of free workouts. I don't care if they join my gym or not, but it gets people moving. It gets, starts a movement. Provide value up front, and people are going to try you out. So you want to establish yourself as a leader in fitness in your town, and you get the results, and you'll get more athletes. Number 7 is establish a consistent marketing presence on the right communication channels. I threw out that editorial calendar a few weeks ago, but you want to be consistent in your messaging. And you need to establish a plan to communicate to your current and potential athletes. So editorial calendars are a great first step, and but it's one step in the complete strategic marketing plan for your gym. I know we don't have time for all of this, but use that tool I created to help you plan it once a month for an hour. Then have one of your coaches take care of it, have a friend take care of it, have a member take care of it. But do the planning. It's so, so important to be consistent in your messaging and be in the right places. So many times I see people putting things on Pinterest. Unless you're building a big brand, what is Pinterest going to do for you locally? Probably nothing. So focus on the things that really matter. Number 8, increase publicity by connecting with key community influencers. So reach out to those community influencers and see if you can provide value. Recently, back in November, I reached out to our local news station and told the reporter and said, hey, I know you guys are looking for stories right now. What about doing a story on healthy eating during the holidays? And she said, let me think about that. 2 days later, she called me back. Hey, let's set up an interview. And then a week later, she was in my gym, videotaping people working out, interviewing me, asking, how do we eat healthy during the holidays? What do we need to do? Every few months in my town, you're going to see CrossFit Como on the news. We're going to be the local fitness authority in Columbia, Missouri. On your website, you want to make sure you're selling benefits and results. So your website and marketing copy should talk about the benefits and results of your program, not that it's just CrossFit. I can't say that more. People want to know what the results are going to be. They don't care that you're just doing CrossFit. And finally, ask and implement referral program. Referral program is important to your success. It doesn't have to be financial reward. It doesn't have to be reward anyways. You have to determine what's best for your community, but make sure your people are bringing their people in. Make sure your athletes are bringing their friends in, and make sure it's regular. All you have to do is ask for it. You don't have to offer incentives. You just need to ask for it. Bring a friend on Tuesdays. Free community workout on Saturdays. Those are important. So these are the 10 action items to help improve that first phase of the marketing life cycle, or the athlete life cycle. All right, so we're going to quickly go through my website. I'm just going to put it up front in front of you guys and let you guys, we'll tear it apart. But here's a quick case study on CrossFit Como and CrossFitComo.com. All right, I know it's a little hard to see on the screen, but when you search for CrossFit Columbia, Missouri, look what gym shows up first. Mine does. Okay. Also, when you see the results, my gym pulls up first again. And then you see another thing about CrossFit Como. You see another one. Okay. So of all the links on the page, you see my gym 4 times when you search. And there we are right there. That's huge. If you search for gyms in Columbia, Missouri, you're going to see my gym on the front page as well. Okay. That's very huge. So this is getting listed on Google Places right here. So this is Google Places. Okay. I'll post a blog post in the future about how to do that. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. All right, when you arrive at CrossFitComo.com, here's some key things that every website should have. You have clear call to actions. You can call me at any time. You can email me at any time. All of my social media stuff. We have all of our programs listed, schedule, meet our trainers. We want to tell our story, upcoming events, blog, they can buy things. Probably the coolest thing is when you land, we have this awesome, huge call to action right here. Get started. We have another call to action. We have all these benefits. And we have chicks. I'm just kidding. But these are the people that are in my gym. These are the people I want to see in my gym. Your marketing should show what you want to see in your gym. These are just some basic landing page things. We're going to keep going down my page. So as we scroll down, you see, I want to introduce people to CrossFit Como. This is a really nice video we did when we had our grand opening. Just kind of shows the community at our gym. But also, if somebody's at CrossFit for the first time, here's a nice video that says, what is CrossFit? And that's such a great video. I think everybody should have that on their website. Down here you see, last year we did $3,500 that we gave to local charities. It's been pretty cool. It's some social proof that shows that we're giving back to the community. We scroll down a little bit further. Now you see our programs. And these are visual. These are the things that we do really well. These are some great things about nutrition coaching and world-class coaching, and these are visual. These are great when you minimize the website, and the website turns into a maybe a phone or a if somebody's searching from their phone. These are like big actionable buttons that people can take. As you scroll further down, now you see news and upcoming events. So this shows that how active we are and how people can get involved in community. We always preach about community, but we do events. That's really important. Also, under the news, you see some great content in here. So we do this check-in, give back challenge where every month we pick a different charity, and for every time people check into Facebook, we donate things to local charities. So blog is very important. It's a great inbound marketing tool. And finally, when you're getting towards the bottom of the page, you see all these great pictures of all these amazing people in our gym and all these great stories. We're telling our story. Our success stories have done so much to bring new people in the gym. It is absolutely amazing. Spend the 20 minutes it takes to interview somebody, write their story. It doesn't have to be great. Just put it on your website, show a picture about their story, and that's going to drive people to your brand. If you make it all the way to the bottom, you're going to have another call to action. Okay. Then if you need stuff that's in the footer, here's another call to action, get signed up. This is what we're tweeting about. And these are some of the links that we use to get people to legitimize our business. So that's examining my website here quickly in a nutshell. I think our website does a very good job of driving people in our doors. Every week we're getting 5 to 10 new leads just directly through our website. So I highly recommend you taking a good hard look at your website and how it's driving people in. All right. So how do we move on from there? How do we automate some sales and marketing? This is some key takeaways you guys can implement into your business now. Implement a strategic email marketing program, and I can help you guys get through that. It's pretty cool. What we do is anytime somebody fills out one of those call to actions on our website, they get an initial email welcoming them to come into our class. And our goal is to get them to respond and come try the class. If they don't respond, we send them a follow-up email automatically that says, what fears do they have? What's keeping them from coming in? Then we send another email that says, meet our coaches. Then we send another email that says, read our stories. We have this great email marketing program that encourages people to come into the gym. And it works. I mean, I don't know. And I measured, I can see how many times people are clicking the links. I can see how many times people are opening emails. So convert your inquiries into intro classes, get them in the door through a nice email marketing campaign. Once they've tried the intro class, they move into another database where they become, we try to sell them on joining the gym. So we have another email program that we send out that how to get signed up. So as soon as they finish the intro class, they get another email that says, hey, come sign up for Foundations. That's your next step. And how can they get started quickly? And we just remove all those barrier to entries. And this is all automated. That's the great thing. It's all automated. This has probably saved me at least 10 to 15 hours a week that I used to spend on my business. We also have a system to bring back old clients. So once people leave, we're calling them back. We're also sending them emails once a month saying, hey, we miss you. Hope you're doing well. Come see us again. And we're offering incentives for that, whether it's a free personal training session or it's getting them back in the door to try something new. Bringing back old clients helps with that attrition. It helps, bring people back in. Our final piece of our marketing program is all about retention. So we're trying to convert our clients into raving fans. So we do that by creating value so they'll never leave. So these are things like we send them timely emails on their CrossFit journey. I've mapped out the entire CrossFit journey. And what's really great is, during different points, you're going to have peaks and valleys. And what's happening is they're getting emails and encouragement during those peaks and valleys. We're sharing great resources with them. We also do this really cool thing, and they get emails based on the number of check-ins that they have. So once they hit 50 check-ins, I send them an automatic email that says, hey, I want to tell your story about you in our gym. That's how I create my success stories. I send them 5 questions I want them to answer. They answer back. I create a blog post, and it's almost completely automated. When they get to 100 check-ins, I send them another email that says, hey, you're doing a great job. Thank you for being a part of the gym. Here's some awesome stuff, awesome benefits to being part of our gym. So we just onboard people really well in our gym using email and automated marketing. So I highly recommend doing that. And I'll be posting a blog post to briefly show you how to go through each of these. All right, so that's basically our presentation today. I just want to kind of show you guys what we have going on at the Box business in the future. First of all, I hope you guys got a lot of value out of the presentation there. I hope there's some actionable items you guys can take to make your gym a world-class affiliate. There's so much we can all do to improve, but I hope there's key takeaways that you guys can move forward. So my goal is to continue to provide great, inspiring, and actionable content on our blog. Planning on the podcast to launch February 1st. I do help gyms with consulting, both on the phone and on location if that's needed. And we have some new services we're going to be introducing, inbound marketing, web development, design, and a lot more. So stay tuned. Keep following the Box Business. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm really, really excited about this. We're launching a really cool program. It is absolutely amazing. Let me introduce that to you real quick. Introducing the Box Business Academy. What is the Box Business Academy? It's a complete system to turn your gym into a world-class affiliate. I have resources on there to walk you through each phase of the CrossFit athlete life cycle, complete automated sales and marketing emails, all the policies and procedures, paperwork that you need, whether that's from bringing a new client on board to hiring a new coach, and everything that you'll need in between. We have an extensive coaching development program, a 50+ hour intern development program. This thing is awesome. I've been working really hard on it. We're just about ready to launch. But since you guys are on this webinar, I figured, hey, I'll give you guys a nice little preview. So if you head over to academy.theboxbusiness.com, you can see all the details about how to get registered, how to get signed up, and see if this is something that's right for you. Here's a few other things. Seminars and programs. I've generated over $10,000 in revenue for my gym this past year just on seminars and additional programs alone. And that's going to continue to grow. I have those complete systems for tracking everything. My whole goal with this program is to help enhance the athlete experience. And I have a lot of retention programs that I've developed, and I've seen best practices across the CrossFit industry to help enhance that athlete experience. So retention is big. I included my strategic marketing plan. It's 12 months long, so you know how we're going to handle things each and every month. There's an extensive frequently asked questions that we're developing to help people learn and understand, about different situations they may come up. And finally, there's a private world-class affiliate-only mastermind group. So these are other affiliate owners that have invested in themselves and become a part of the academy. And and we're learning from each other, we're growing from each other, and we're supporting each other in all the things that we need. So here's how it works. So if you want to get registered for the academy, head over to the academy or academy.theboxbusiness.com. We're launching March 1st, 2015. When we launched that day, the price is $12.99. But right now, I'm doing a special founders pre-order rate for only $499. And we have two options. You can either pay up to, per month up to 6 months, or you can pay it all up front and save a little bit of money there. But this thing is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. We're going to build upon this webinar, build upon the things that we've been sharing with you on our blog. So if you guys want to get started, you want to get that pre-order in, use that code FOUNDERS. I only have 50 of those available. I think they're going to go really, really fast. We've already introduced it to a few other people. They're already on board. I'm really, really excited about this and what's going to happen. So I hope you guys will join me on the academy, academy.theboxbusiness.com. And for my wife and I and all of our community at CrossFit Como, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of the Hangout today. I'm so thankful to know each and every one of you, and so thankful that I've been able to share my experiences with you. And I hope I provided a lot of value and actionable content that you can take back and bring to your gym. So with that, I'm going to hop on and see if there's any questions to answer. Let's see here. Wow, it looks like a bunch of people jumped on the chat. I'm going to refresh that page real quick. Cool. Well, I just hopped on the chat group. Doesn't look like there's any questions, but I did see somebody came in from Bogota, Colombia, which I think is absolutely amazing. This podcast officially has gone worldwide. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if I can help you out in any way. Reach out to me, Mike at theboxbusiness.com or Mike at CrossFit Como. Oh, there's a question from Kaylee. Hey, how long is your course? I missed that part. Kaylee, the course is it's up to you. It's learn as you go. Each page is going to have its own simple things to go through. You could try to get all that information in one day, or you can take things as you read them. So there's no specific length. It's just up to you. There's different modules, different things you can go through. But it's up to you how quickly you go through. I think some things you'll be able to implement immediately. Other things you're going to implement over time. And it's really to help you just kind of shift your mind and focus on how to become a world-class affiliate in everything that you do. So, hey, Carlos from Hero Box. Cool. Are there any other questions out there? Let's see. Cool. Hey, Kaylee, another good question. She asked if there's a set of webinars that you can send to us. Yes, so there's going to be a combination of files, documents, templates. There's going to be webinars. There's going to be ways to walk you through each and every step. Just kind of depends. The coaching development program, you'll have some interviews with my head coach and the things that we've developed. And that'll be videos. You're also going to see just the program outlined in a PDF. And so you can walk through step by step and implement those things directly into your gym. So that's a great question. Again, I just want to thank you guys all for your time today. Like I said, this has been an amazing experience for me. I'm so thankful to get to share this webinar with you guys, and I hope you learned a lot that you can take back. Cool. If you guys want, I'm going to share the Academy website so you can take a look and see what that looks like. Cool. So this is the Academy. If you guys are ready to get started, it's pretty simple. You can scroll through, learn about all the great things that we're doing. Automated sales and marketing, complete systems, enhancing the athlete experience, our policies, contracts, procedures, everything we did to become what I consider a world-class affiliate. We have a 12-month strategic marketing plan, coaching development program, internship program, how to optimize your website to convert people, a private Facebook mastermind group. I had a couple people that helped me develop this program and helped me go through this program. And I've shared a lot of my resources. These are some of my consulting clients. And John from CrossFit Punta Gorda, Brad from Bluff Street CrossFit, Debbie from CrossFit Unstoppable. These people have been amazing. Some of my first consulting clients. They've got a lot of this stuff, when we first started. So I'm so thankful for each of them. And the website's launching in 45 days. So you guys get on it now. We're offering a great pre-order special. It's really simple. Hop on here, select which payment plan you want to use, enter the code founders, and look at that. Founders, that's the special code. Enter that code, makes it only $99 per month for 6 months. Or if you want to pay for it all up front, it's just $4.99. So Kaylee asked a question, is this similar to 321 Go or Business of Excellence? Both those guys do really great jobs. I think ours is, it may be different. I haven't been to 321 Go. But what we're providing is actionable content on our website that you can take and implement now. And that's up to you if you guys are, interested in that. Kaylee, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. If you want to get on the phone, we can talk more specifically about what questions you have. But yeah, I think we're a little bit different than what you'll see in some of those other programs out there. But I think what we're offering is pretty amazing. Great. Well, once again, I just want to thank you guys so much for being a part of our webinar today. What an amazing experience. You guys have been great questions. There's people from all over the world on this webinar. Absolutely amazing. So many CrossFit gyms. I'm going to send you guys a follow-up link, let you know what we got in store in the future. But once again, I hope you got some value, got to take away a few things. And thanks again for visiting the Box Business webinar.